The GT40 was a complete revolution of sorts for Ford. After all, by 1965, Ferrari was wrapping up an extremely impressive 6-year run, stacking victories in the 24 Hours of Le Mans each year, with it ending by Kansas City's own Maston Gregory, otherwise known as the Kansas City Flash, bringing home a victory in 1965. However, somewhere in the middle of that run, Ford designed plans that eventually allowed them to say, "Hold my beer." Welcome back to No AC. My name's Bobby. Today I'm going to be digging into some GT40 history and taking a look at one extremely rare example. Before we jump into any of that, picture the like button as your worst enemy and push it! But hey, no enemies around here. Let's just all get along and talk a little automotive history. Now, in all seriousness, there is a lot of time and effort on my part that goes into these videos, so if you enjoy it, it'd mean the world to me if you consider sticking around and clicking that subscribe button. Because after all, it's almost your way of telling me,
I know what you did. I thank you.
Here's America's newest challenger in international championship racing, the Ford GT.
This is a classic iron sharpens iron type of story. While Ferrari was busy winning the 24-hour Le Mans for 6 consecutive years from 1960 to 1965, Ford realized early into Ferrari's run they wanted to be part of the fun, and that's exactly what they announced to the entire world on April 1st, 1963, when they released the first ever prototype of what you know to be the GT40. Not sure if they did April Fools back then, but this car is no joke. It debuted for the first time in 1964, and from 64 to 1969, Ford produced the GT40 in several variations, including the Mark I, the Mark II, the Mark III, and I'll let you take a wild guess as to the name of the fourth. While all of these variations deserve respect for their combination of beauty, raw power, and rarity, they aren't GT109. You see, it's hard to match the rarity, let alone the historical significance of Ford's lesser-known Ford GT Roadster project. The project netted only 5 GT Roadsters ever, and serial number GT109 was the second ever built, one of only 2 remaining today, and the only one to ever race in the 24 Hours of Le Mans. Having just been prepared by Shelby American on June 19th and 20th, dressed in Ford of France livery, being driven by Maurice Trintignant and Guy Legier, this prototype competed in what would be the 33rd Grand Prix of Endurance, the 1965 24 Hours of Le Mans. As impressive as the car is, so is its history of owners. After being raced, it was then shipped back to Shelby American with a work order to be rebuilt before heading to Carcraft to serve as a development vehicle for the J car, making the first 2 owners a combination of Ford and Shelby. If you're familiar with custom car designer and fabricator Dean Jeffries, then it makes sense to you why you'd want to throw his name in the ring of owners. And that's exactly what he did, acquiring the car from Ford in 1968. This car features a 5-speed manual gearbox, and it's still powered by the same 289 Hypo that was a gift back in the day from Shelby to Jeffries. And this car in general was a gift to the entire automotive world. It remained under Jeffries' ownership until he unfortunately passed away in 2013. But luckily for this prototype, it's continually fell into the correct hands to continue preserving its legacy, with the last notable name on the list being none other than legendary car enthusiast and automotive auctioneer Dana Mecum. GT109 received a professional restoration to concours standards by Harley Cluxton III and was redressed in its original Le Mans livery. Placing second at the 2016 Pebble Beach Concours d'Elegance, this prototype was beat out only by the 1966 Le Mans winning Mark II GT40, which was the first ever GT40 win at Le Mans. We all know Ken Miles won that race. It also received Best in Show at the 2016 Milwaukee Concours d'Elegance. And on Saturday, May 17th at the Indianapolis State Fairgrounds, for only the 5th time, maybe 6th time ever, this legendary Ford GT prototype will exchange ownership when it crosses the block at Mecum. While no one can predict the future with complete certainty, I do have a prediction I think we'll see come to fruition, and that's that you will not see this prototype announced as a GT40. While these cars are known for being 40 inches tall, the original project was technically the Ford GT project, with the GT40 moniker catching on once the project was a little further along. However, even more specific than either of those names, this prototype, with its rarity and history, can really only be called one thing. So that's the story of GT109. I want to hear your prediction down in the comments. How much do you think this car sells for when it's up on the block? I hope you enjoyed the video and feel like you got something out of it. Don't forget to hit the like button for me on the way out, and stay tuned for the next one. Noisy, baby.